Thank you very much. It's great to be with you this morning, and thank you for that very kind introduction. And it's a pleasure to work with you and to make sure that we do the right thing. And your guidance and information is so important. Let me just say something about Kevin here.
Please don't.
Let's just say if there's a fire that needs to be put out in Washington, he's the guy to go to. And he does an outstanding job. He also maybe sets a few fires politically around here too. But Kevin, thank you so much for your friendship and for the great job that you do representing people that are heroes to all of us. So. And I want to welcome each and every one of you to our nation's capital, and especially those from the great state of Iowa. Yeah, there they are. All right. In particular, Wayne Sawtell has been a person who is certainly from my district and from Marshalltown, and someone who doesn't just do his job as a professional firefighter, but he's also involved totally in the community. He is someone that has, we've talked many times on your issues and other issues, things that are so important for the community. So it's great to have the Iowans here, in particular Wayne. It's really an honor to meet with those who devoted so much of their lives to helping their communities respond in times of emergencies and educating the communities in ways to prevent the emergencies. Not only that, but what you do volunteering in your community to help kids, to help everybody in your community to make them stronger is extraordinarily important. And I thank you for what you do helping all of us in this great country. You know, often official Washington quickly loses sight of how decisions made in this city have a real impact on our communities and the people outside of the Beltway. That's why your participation today is so important to the issues that are important to you and the people that you protect. And because you're dedicating time out of your lives to come together to discuss the issues important to you and the firefighters, the nation will be better off. We live in a representative democracy, and unless you tell your elected officials, your leaders, your priorities, your concerns, and your opinions, you won't be effectively represented. And I will just tell you, as you go out and visit with your representatives, your senators today, always remember that you are the experts. You know what is needed in your community. You know what you need to best do your job. Sometimes it can be intimidating to some folks to go to Washington, to go to the Hill, to talk to a congressman or a senator. But always remember that you are the people who know the issues. And don't back off. And I know you won't. With your leadership, I know you won't. And that's extraordinarily important. I still believe in a country where the voice of the citizen must always be given more clout than that of government, because that's what America really is all about. And that's why I recommit myself every day to a fundamental principle. There's always a way to deliver a more efficient, effective government that respects hardworking taxpayers. And I've always been willing to work with anyone, regardless of party or regardless of politics, who is committed to delivering real results for the hardworking taxpayers that we represent. The American people can't wait for progress. So I didn't wait when it came to doing the right thing for America's firefighters when your leadership asked for my help regarding the SAFER program. I wanted to ensure that local fire departments had the flexibility to use funds from the SAFER program in meaningful ways. After all, who could be in a better position to decide how these funds should be spent than the local firefighters on the ground? That's the reason I worked through the appropriations process and to grant local fire departments greater freedom with regard to SAFER. I believe that seeking the one-time use of retroactive waivers for the SAFER program gave local fire departments the flexibility to bring back trained firefighters at a time when the current economic climate may have made that very difficult. I'll just tell you, too many politicians in Washington refuse to work across the aisle because they're more concerned about the next election than they are about the next generation. And sometimes politics gets in the way of keeping our communities safe. That's irresponsible and unacceptable. It's time to put people ahead of politics and progress ahead of partisanship. And we must work together to restore accountability to government, that your elected representatives are listening to those they're elected to represent. That's what this effort with the SAFER program was all about. I want to thank each and every one of you for the important work you do to make our communities as safe as possible, especially in times of a crisis or emergency. The job you do as professional career firefighters, reaching out a helping hand when the unthinkable happens, is more important than any political bickering in Washington. And let me just say in closing, I had a new grandson. I have 5 grandchildren now. New grandson born January 4th. And I look at that little baby, and that's why I do this, because I look at that child. He doesn't care about Republican, Democrat. He doesn't care, about what you do in Washington or what you don't do. What that child needs is to have a safe, secure environment that you provide. And what that child deserves also is an opportunity. Like everybody here, I think, and myself, I had more opportunities than my parents did. And what we've got to make sure working together is that that grandchild has more opportunities than we had. The only way we can do that is to work together, bipartisan, whatever. We've got to be successful. This country is at stake, and if we aren't successful, that grandchild won't have the great opportunities we all had. So thank you all very, very much. God bless.